Yo, what's up, man?
Hi,
How you doing?
all fine.
Nice, nice. Cool, dude. Yeah, I was thinking of a crazy idea, and I was like, oh, I gotta call. So after looking at that trends report, so I got the pro report. Um, I didn't send it to you just out of respect for Drew because he's like, please do not forward this. But basically, like, I didn't realize how like massive the like deals market was. Um, and I was really uh, kind of surprised to see how many companies are like succeeding in this space. Like I thought there was like AppSumo and then like maybe two other people, but no, there's like it's like dozens of like similar offerings, and that's kind of encouraging to me because to me that says this is not a zero sum game market. This is not a winner take all kind of space. Like there's opportunity for these like niche kind of deal uh, products and newsletters to coexist. And so I was thinking, what if we leveraged a product hunt launch to feature an indie product that we thought was just like incredible, in order to kind of rapidly grow the subscriber base. So the idea would be like, for example, something like Hype Theory, for example, or some kind of like Twitter audience building tool, right? Um, a lot of makers would gravitate towards that and would probably immediately subscribe, um, to get that deal. And that's also the direction that we talked about going in anyway. It's just like focusing on like one incredible deal, whether it's like a lifetime deal or like a significant percentage off. And kind of see if we could kind of build momentum off of that. So it's like, hey, like here's our introduction to like the world. Here's this killer deal for this great product. And then people are kind of expecting like, okay, we're going to get one great deal. It's going to be amazing. Maybe our click rates would improve. I'm sure our open rates would probably stay around 50-60%, which isn't a problem. But people keep subscribing to the upcoming page. Like every day, people are subscribing. And so I'm like, well, the benefit of that ship account is like, if you schedule a launch for 12 a.m. Pacific time, and you have um, a lot of makers and people on product kind of already subscribed, that kind of gives you a head start on launch day. And so I feel like we should take advantage of that, just because it's just like sitting there accumulating subscribers. And what I'm doing is I'm like manually like moving subscribers from product hunt over to Miller Lite, which is kind of a pain. But yeah, I'm just curious what you thought about it. It's a crazy idea. It might be terrible, but
so just to check that I understood it correctly, the idea is like using a special deal as a lead magnet. So what people are usually doing, they sign up now to get an amazing deal on Hype Theory, right? And then everyone benefits because they get new subscribers because they are included on launch day.
exactly.
And we benefit because people have to sign up to get the deal.
Yeah.
That's the thinking, like synergy, win-win.
Yeah, like what I'm thinking is like you like that guy Nathan Laka. Like basically like using a product hunt launch as leverage to get access to a better product, right? Because Hype Theory probably wouldn't work with us because we're so small, right? Maybe not. But if we say, hey, we're going to include you in our product hunt launch, then that's really appealing, I think.
So I absolutely love the idea, and we will do this. So no, no
Okay.
question. We will do this.
It's not too crazy.
No, it makes perfect sense, and it's super smart because it's win-win, and we have like this strong position where we can negotiate an amazing deal, and at the same time, everyone wins, right?
Yeah.
So it's a no-brainer. Just why I shake my head when it came to Hype Fury is that some people mentioned that he's kind of a strange, no, not strange, but a problematic. I don't know how to phrase it. The founder, I don't know. I haven't talked to him.
Might be hard to deal with.
He might be hard to deal with from what I've heard from secondhand sources. But
I don't think I want to even go that route, to be honest, especially if the founder isn't like going to be a good partner. I just mentioned that product just because it's like a hot, trendy product. That's all.
You're using it?
I was using it, but I realized like it's actually it's too much for me personally. Like I feel like if I were doing a lot of like Gumroad sales and if I were trying to like hack Twitter, I would probably use it. But Typefully is actually so good and it's free.
It's the new one that was launched.
Yeah. It's so good. So I actually prefer to use Typefully because the writing experience in Typefully is actually better than Hype Fury.
Yes, because I was curious about what the killer feature of Hype Fury really is, why people
evergreen tweets, retweeting,
but
scheduling.
That stuff is annoying. I don't know.
I think so, yeah.
Because I don't want to see the same tweets over and over again, and I really dislike people doing it. So it's actually like the one thing someone mentioned about Twitter ads. Like, you can do it to grow your audience, but the negative part you need to consider is that lots of people would block you just because you're doing it. So it's not smart. And Hype Fury might be popular like in other parts of Twitter, like the money Twitter, whatever they call it.
Yeah,
I think. And there's even it has a somewhat bad reputation, I think, because some people mentioned they really don't like when there's Hype Fury tweets because it's always a particular type of tweets. It's really from these people who try to hack Twitter.
Right? Yeah, and I feel like you're like cheating, kind of. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
You always get what you put into, right? So just today, I don't know if you saw it. I was trying to start a beef, but it didn't work on Twitter. No, because David Perel tweeted something. Good writing is bad writing with lots of editing or something like this. And this piece of advice gets repeated over and over again from everyone because it sounds reasonable, but I actually think it's nonsense. So I tweeted something about it, and like, raw writing can be amazing. Every time you edit, you are removing the edges, and the edges are what makes writing often interesting, right? So I really don't like polished writing. I really, of course, then you can take it to this whole nother level. Then what does editing really mean, and great editing, blah, blah, blah. But so I then tweeted like, Twitter is a perfect example for this. Why I don't think this is true. Because there are many people who polish to craft like perfect tweets and advise you to do the same. But you know what? I don't like these kind of tweets. I'm here to connect with real people and not to read fortune cookie quotes. So
yeah.
But you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like in the moment, like, you know, like an organic kind of like not overthought. And that's the downside I would say about like these tools, is that it kind of, you're creating like a different type of content at that point, which I don't know, I guess it's okay, but
Just not for me.
Yeah.
So yeah, and this kind of content is doing spectacularly well. These fortune cookies, people are loving it, and I
Yeah.
think it's starting to get a bit old, and it's like a fad. It will vanish again, but at the moment it's still big enough, and there are enough people
Mm.
who succeed by putting out their fortune cookies or their perfectly crafted tweet they spent 6 months polishing, and now it's finally ready. Whatever.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
like, all
like
right, I'm gonna use this hashtag and like I'm gonna mention this person and like, I'm gonna schedule it at this specific time. And it's just like it's yeah,
this is not how I would like to think of Twitter. Yeah,
I
exactly.
know, yeah. No,
So
I like your approach. I like what you're doing, to be honest. Like uh you're creating value outside of Twitter. You're engaging in conversations on Twitter that make sense. And that's really all you need to do. Like you can do a lot more, but like if you're engaging with other people and having conversations and then creating value outside the platform that like brings attention to your Twitter profile, I think that's the most, that makes the most sense. And I feel like um, all the other extra work that people do is just purely numbers driven. Like, oh, I want to get to 10,000 subscribers or 10,000
yeah,
followers, in 6 months or whatever, like.
yeah, and I think it's really the same with again with writing, where of course if you're a great writer, you can write about anything and it becomes exciting. Like this John McPhee guy who writes a book about oranges or about a single tennis match, and people love it, and it's amazing because he's such a good writer. But even if you're a terrible writer and you have something interesting to tell, it doesn't matter. So this is
Yeah.
and this is what I'm doing. So I'm not good at Twitter, but I'm doing interesting stuff, and that's enough. Like I'm not polishing my tweets because I don't have to. So that's my thinking. And like to be honest, most money Twitter guys, like at least the people who are starting or trying to build an audience just by being clever, would love to see the growth I've seen, right? So
Exactly. Yeah, I agree. So okay, so two things. One, what do you think about January 14th, Thursday, January 14th for the product launch? Is that too soon? Is that because it's a Thursday, which we typically do our newsletters on Thursdays.
No, perfect.
It's like far enough, but close enough, I feel like.
Yeah, it's perfect.
And then the second thing is what product should we go with? Because I think that's crucial.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I think I need to give that some more thought, but
we have to think hard about it and find the right partner. And I think now with this idea, it becomes a bit easier because we need something, or ideally we need something that does well with Product Hunt, right? So we should look at Product Hunt launches and negotiate a deal with something that launched well recently, right? Because it's relatively certain that it will do well, I think. So I will do
explore.
I will do some research.
Use that database.
Exactly. That's why it exists. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. I'm feeling good about us being able to find someone before the end of this week. Do you think that's possible?
Yeah, certainly. I will. Okay. I will work on it. You will work on it, and no problem.
Okay. Okay, cool. And this is not related, but so I thought you would find this interesting though. So I did this 90 Days of Prose launch on New Year's Day. It actually went pretty well. It went better than I thought it would, because like I wasn't expecting like a ton of traction on Product Hunt because it's not really a product. You know what I mean? It's like like all I did was I created like a website and like a hashtag, you know, but I wanted to take advantage of the fact that like people like to do New Year's resolutions and create new habits to start the year.
Yeah, sure.
And this is like a personal challenge I was doing anyway, so I was like, well, why not, right?
Oh, number 3 product, nice, yeah.
Yeah. And a ton of people, like if you look up the hashtag on Twitter, like a ton of people are like
doing it right now. Yeah, awesome.
Yeah. A lot of people signed up. So
who? Sorry?
A lot of people have signed up like to have publicly like committed on Twitter to do it. But what was interesting was I realized that you don't get, when you're done with your launch, you don't get a list of the people who uploaded it. Did you notice that when you've done like a few launches up to this point? Is that something you like questioned or missed or cared about?
Yeah, I think they actually removed it. So so it existed in the past, and then a lot of, or some people did analysis on fraud, and their solution to it was simply to hide it. So this was my understanding of the whole of this story. Because
solution to fraud?
Yeah, there were people who complained that there are now a lot of people who game Product Hunt, right, by buying upvotes, and now they simply hide who upvoted a product, and then you can't do like analysis who cheated. That's like their solution to the problem.
So do me a favor real quick. Go on Product Hunt. Go to January 1st when I launched, and look at the number 2 product.
1 second. How does it work?
So if you go to the homepage, just scroll back to
yesterday,
the
January
1st, which is
exactly
Friday.
Yeah. Okay, historical me. Every day.
Look at it.
Sorry?
Yeah, check it out. Just look at it real quick.
Historical me. Okay. Okay. Looks strange.
Does it look like a good product?
It doesn't. It doesn't.
No. So I was number 2 until like 8 o'clock on Friday at night.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, like historical me got like 100 upvotes in like less than like 10 minutes.
Yeah, you can see like you can see still the last 20 people who upvoted, right, on Product Hunt, and for historical me, it's only people with like 0 points. It's very obvious. It's very
so. I put this together. I'm going to send you this link on Zoom. So I did this analysis on my product, right? Just to see like who the voters were, how many of them were makers, what was the average age of each account. And I'm going to do the same for historical me just because I'm really curious.
That's super funny, because I had almost the same idea after my launch of what to tweet, because what to tweet was like the number 1 spot till 8 p.m. or whatever, and then suddenly it was overtaken. But in this case, so it was not that obvious, because the other product is okay. It's not like this.
It's not terrible. Yeah,
it's not terrible, but still, I'm pretty sure they cheated. And so I had the idea of building like what they do with social media profiles. What is it called? The website where you can look at how social media profiles grew over time. That everyone is Social Blade, right? Social Blade, it's called. So,
Social Blade?
Yeah, socialblade.com. So they are tracking social profiles, and this is what people always use to say, okay, this guy just bought lots of followers, because then there is this unnatural pattern in his growth. So I had the same idea doing this for Product Hunts, like fetching the data every hour or so, just to see, what you described, like unnatural patterns. So I was about to build it because I was angry after what to tweet was pushed from the first spot. and they destroyed my headline. It was like the perfect headline I already had written, and then like how I built a number one product in 90 minutes, and they all destroyed it. So
So here are two angles that I'm kind of thinking about this. So one angle is I had the same exact reaction. I was really pissed because I was like, oh, number 2, that's awesome, you know, because I didn't think I was going to be in the top 5. So like I was like, all right, cool. Like number 2, that's like great. And I was like already like kind of writing my like indie hackers like, you know, post, right? And so I started this research based upon like frustration. And I was like, oh, I wonder how many other makers have the same feeling that like they're frustrated. They thought they were going to be in a certain position and then they fell off. They don't know why. So that's like one angle. Then another angle is like, well, what if you like are like doing like a SaaS product or whatever, and you want to get access to subscribers that are coming through and reach out to them on Twitter, for example. So you could like basically use the list as like a lead like generation kind of like resource. So like, oh, like that could be cool. Like if I reached out to makers on Product Hunt, like, you know, a couple days after they launch and say, hey, like, would you be interested in like getting this data? I don't know if that is meaningful enough, or is it more interesting to reach out to people who are angry like we were?
Yeah, so in fact, this is one of the use cases for Product Explorer, right? So I know that people are using it this way to get like contact information of makers that launched recently. So I already added like the social profiles and their personal websites. So yeah, because people ask me about it. But I told you that I want to do a little pivot, right? With Product Explorer. And what I want to do is, because I so far just primarily thought about what I could do and not enough about what I should do. So, and what I should do is like start with a use case and not with a data source, because this is what I did. Like with GumSpy, NewsletterSpy, whatever, it was just about the data and not about the use case. And if you analyze data products, then those with a specific use case that start with a specific use case do spectacularly well, whereas these general purpose, I scraped all the crowdfunded products, whatever, no one cares about. So like on the one hand, you have Clearbit, MetaMark that are racking millions of dollars because this is a very specific use case and that's worth a lot of money. Whereas these general purpose. So long story short, I want to like unbundle Product Explorer into a bunch of products that that provide more value by focusing on specific use cases. And what you just described is exactly one of the, I think, one of the use cases I identified, like leads. And
okay.
So long story short, I would love to collaborate if you're interested in doing something in that direction. And we could like use the Product Explorer customer base to get a head start, because this is what I want to do. Like reach out to them, to all the people that cancel their subscription, say, okay, if you're someone who are primarily interested in use case X, now I have something just for you, right? So I think this could do really well. And so I know that people want to use the data this way. So
nice. Okay, cool.
That's real.
It's nice that you validated that, because I wasn't sure. Yeah, I would love to.
Yeah, so
to work with you on this, man. I mean, that's why I wanted to talk to you about it, because I was like, oh, this guy Jacob, like he's probably like on this already.
No, so I definitely haven't won it. And I had a conversation with someone who's like in the Shopify data space, and during the conversation, it occurred to me that I had actually never checked what people use my data for. So I never asked people, and like, you know, I don't use analytics at all, but Gumroad is luckily tracking open rates.
Oh yeah.
So I was able, because I'm sending out the Airtable links in using Gumroad, I was able to see which of my databases did best. And drumroll, it's Product Hunt.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
of course, bias, blah, blah, blah. But at least for my subscribers, Product Hunt seems to be the most interesting data source. And so, yeah, let's do it. And I love the dashboard you built up. And there are many angles we can take. And
Cool.
it's not difficult because Product Hunt has this amazing API.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
so
I was playing with it. Yeah.
It's not rocket science where like scraping Gumroad data is not so nice.
Yeah.
Because it's funny because the platform is not very stable. So if you're trying to grab the data from their platform,
Keeps changing.
Yeah, and your script starts crashing because the website crashes. So if you go to the Gumroad page and you like, it has this discover feature, and then you start scrolling down, and at some point it always crashes. So it's impossible to get it this way, like all the products.
Yeah.
Luckily, like Product Hunt has an API, and yeah. So
Wow.
your idea is like focusing on leads, like, and maybe we could do both, and we should do both. So like build a paid product first, and maybe build a second as side project marketing, right? To get a second launch and right to get a second boost. And the cool thing is we could continue doing this because these mini products that are specifically targeted on Product Hunt users will always get a boost. So the first thing we have to nail down, and I'm interested if you have thought about it, is like if you want to take the lead angle, you need email addresses, right? And Product Hunt does not give you the email addresses.
Yeah.
But what they're giving you is Twitter profiles and the websites of the makers, and then you can, at least for them, plug them into Hunter or whatever and get them.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah. This is what I was thinking.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I think. I mean, I don't know. Like, I would be interested to see if like the Twitter profiles and websites were enough before you spent time like doing that extra, taking the extra like step to like get them for the customer. Because like honestly, like if I see like if I get a list of Twitter profiles and website links, I don't know, I wouldn't necessarily be upset or disappointed that the email address wasn't there too. Because
I'm not sure. It depends on the people.
Also, I feel like it's easier if you're a maker. It's probably easier to do like cold sales via Twitter.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like a Twitter DM is a far better way to like get a response than an email from like an unknown email address.
Sure, but what I think we should definitely try to just plug the websites into Hunter and see how difficult it is, right?
Okay, it's I think it doesn't hurt to do that, yeah.
And like if it's a paid product, paying for a few email addresses is not a problem. So, and I think it really adds value if you want to go the leads route. People are interested in email addresses. This is what I'm thinking. That this is just how this world operates. It's all about email addresses. So but I also really love your dashboard. So
thanks,
man. I'm really curious about what kind of information you had in mind that you want to provide.
Well, I'm curious, like if we said we could do 2 products. So I feel like the lead gen product is like a no-brainer. I think it's pretty straightforward. Like, I don't even think we need to do a ton of more work. Like, I think it's really just about like I honestly would like I try and identify people to reach out to, and just like hit them up on Twitter and say, hey, like, here's a demo of what you could get. Is this of interest? And then we could like actually do the work to like get the data, you know, because like if I think categorizing like an ocean of like scraped data is a lot of work, but what if we focus on the competitors of products, for example, right? So like if you, for example, if like Hype Fury launched on Product Hunt and you're building a competing like product, you would probably want all of the upvote data.
Yeah,
from
this
Hype
is
Fury,
so.
right?
I told, yeah, exactly. I told you about the Shopify guy, and there's this one product called Store Leads. Check it out, storeleads.app. You know it?
Mm-mm.
Storeleads.app. And the main use case, so it's doing really well. He's making a lot of money, and it starts at like $75 a month. And the main use case is really app developers looking at finding shops, so Shopify shops that are using competitors' apps in order to pitch their apps. That's the main use case. This is how he's making so much money. So this is exactly the route to go down.
Yeah. Wow. That's crazy. Yeah. Interesting. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. And to like, I mean, you said you kind of like validated the idea to a certain extent, but like I would take that a step further and like make a pre-sale with that kind of like sales approach to see if that works. And you could have like a one-off sale to like a specific maker. And I feel like that could be like a good starting point. I think a bigger product idea would be obviously to have some kind of like subscription like component to the offering. I don't know what that would look like off the top of my head, but I think to start, like you could absolutely target a maker, find a competing product, offer the data, do a pre-sale, deliver the data.
Interesting, yeah. So why do you think there is this need for a pre-sale? Because it's not that difficult to build a product, right? So yeah.
Well, I think I'm curious how much someone would pay for it, like to kind of figure out like pricing maybe.
But you can simply do it with the product itself, right? So.
Oh, just by saying, hey, here's the data. How much?
Yeah, here's
are you willing to buy for it?
Yeah, you have just the order form when you have the product ready, saying $30. Take it or leave it. This is the best validation, right? So it's just that I have never done a pre-sale. So
so I guess I was thinking more so like in the example that I gave around like Hype Fury, right? Like if I built like Daniel Fury, right? And you came to me, right? And said, hey, Daniel, I see you got this Daniel Fury product. Would you want Hype Fury's like upvote data? Right? Like that's kind of what I mean by pre-sale. Just like a simple question. And because we're assuming that the answer is yes. At least, I'm making that assumption, but maybe they don't, right?
So
it's possible that they don't.
Yeah. So just to make sure that I understand it correctly, can you quickly describe what the data you would sell would look like. Just that we are on the same page.
Yeah, so basically everything I have in this dashboard, and then I would add an email address. To the voters table, which I feel like would be enough. Like you have their social, you have kind of a quick description of who they are. The maker column probably isn't necessary. Website, email address. I feel like that's all you really need.
I see. So yeah, they I'm trying to think. So yeah, there are two use cases or approaches, right? The one approach is, of course, people who want to sell their product, pitch their agency, whatever, to people who recently launched on Product Hunt, right? So this would be like the contact info of the guy who launched the product, right? And this is like what I already have in Product Explorer. But what you're also talking about is the data on the people who upvoted it, right? So because
That's
people
correct.
who upvoted it, yeah. So now I'm slowly starting to understand. Yeah, it's like someone upvoted it, so he thinks it's a cool idea, and now you can pitch in and say, hey, I have something similar, check it also out, right? That's the thinking.
Exactly. Which I don't know, might not be of interest. I'm just curious.
Oh, it definitely will be of interest. So I have zero doubt.
Yeah,
I'm a confident guy. So no, it's super smart. Definitely.
I mean, yeah, I think like you don't even need really a website for that kind of offering. Really, it's like a productized service. I mean,
on demand. You mean on demand, like when someone requests it, you pull up the data and send it to them.
Yeah,
that's even better.
And that's it. Like, yeah, exactly. Yeah. So you're not doing unnecessary work, right? That's kind of what I mean about like, yeah, it's not a ton of work, you know. I like the script I have, like, I don't know, for even like 1,000 like upvotes, like we'll probably run in like 60 seconds, you know. So so it's not hard to do, but why even bother if like
sure set up automation if you don't need it?
Yeah, people aren't asking for it. So yeah, that's kind of like an MVP kind of experiment that I was thinking.
I absolutely love it, and I want to be
so like what I could do. Like if you, just because you have a little, I think you have a little more pedigree and like stature in the industry. If you wanted to like reach out to makers, I'm happy to handle all of the data like gathering and formatting and looking into like using Hunter or whatever for email addresses. But or if you wanted to do that stuff, I'm happy to reach out to makers.
Okay, yeah. Let me think about it for like 2 seconds.
Yeah. I think that honestly, I think that the time-consuming part is like identifying products that people would want voter data from. You know, which I think the fact that you have the Product Explorer like resource is great because you could like look through the data that you have access to, and kind of like see like, oh, like you kind of do like matchmaking basically, you know, like, which I think would take some time, but having a sense of, oh, company A would more than likely be interested in categories of products, like these, like 3 categories of products, basically.
So my thinking now is that if we want to build a product that sells leads on Product Hunt stuff, because it's a very niche thing, right? It's not it's not $1 billion idea, whatever. We should do it immediately. We should immediately offer like all the data we can offer. And what I'm thinking is like these 2 types of data, we should offer both of them, because like, it's like we're the Product Hunt leads guys. So, and you can either get like leads on makers or on upvoters, right? And it's just like, why not do both at once? And so we can make sure that no one is disappointed, because I think there are people interested in this one thing, and people, like I described, the agencies that want to pitch their service. I agree. On the other hand, we could like sell a database, like I do on Product Explorer, whatever, with these products, and this just on premise. We keep it stored, and this other type of we could do it on demand. There's I want a detailed report on blah, and then we send it to them, right? So this is my thinking, because it's more difficult, I think. To because there are the many upvoters or whatever, to prepare this kind of report, and we could just sell it like this is my. But you get what I'm saying. So we really grab the complete Product Hunt leads market at once with one offering.
No, that makes sense.
And then let's do it. I mean, it's super cool. We launch tomorrow. Cool, okay.
I mean, momentum is key. Well, let's I would say, like, at least for me, I'm gonna like think more about probably the indie drops like partner for the next like few days, try and like nail that down, and then probably like towards the end of this week and the weekend, I'm gonna like probably spend like most of my time thinking through like all the rambling that I just did basically around the Product Hunt leads stuff.
Have you already thought about the format you want to deliver the report in?
No, not really. I mean, give me a PDF, I guess, with like a corresponding like CSV file with the data.
Exactly, or Airtable, whatever. What looks more professional, right? So it's a matter of perception.
Yeah.
So it's easy enough, and let's do it.
Yeah, dude. I think the product, the maker leads data is like what you're thinking about your pivot. I think that's like very easy to start. I think it's a great idea. Getting the voter data takes more time because you have to paginate through 20 voters at a time, basically, using the Product Hunt API.
But this is what proxies are for, so.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a problem. It's just like
more difficult.
Yeah, and like if one request like fails, then it's like, all right, let's start over. So, I think reaching out to a few makers and identifying what data they would want, running the script to grab the data, formatting it, creating a PDF. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I love it. It will become used. So because I said I already thought about it, and it's exactly what was on my list of stuff I want to do, and I hadn't thought about the angle you just talked about. But I love it. It's perfect. It's absolutely awesome. So I have to go in like 2 minutes because I'm not sure if you heard it, but my telephone is ringing all the time. My mother tries to call. Yeah, my mother tries to call, and seems to be important. But just one more question I have for you, because I recorded a few of our conversations, like this one, right? And I said, not sure if I'm gonna do anything with it, and so far I haven't, right? Except our first one. But I now want to, what I also told you about in the last call, where I got angry because Daniel Wesello did something similar. So long story short, I want to do this all access pass for Bootstrap MBA, and would love to put these videos online, because I have these or these calls online, like behind the scenes. Insights, because we are not discussing anything sensitive, right? It's not secret, but it's still only suitable for people who know the proper context. So this is my idea. Not sure if it would work out, but I just wanted to ask, because I think it's valuable, right? And I thought it might be interesting for people to follow along.
Yeah, of course.
And I will, of course, send you like an invite. You get free access. So you can. I rambled about Ghost, but I'm using it right now. So yeah, you can see it like on. I just put the link in the chat.
Oh, cool! Yeah, I'll check it out. Oh, still, dude, yeah.
Work in progress.
Nice.
That's the idea, to make like behind the scenes all access pass on what I'm doing, what I'm up to, sharing like exactly the stuff I just talked about, my product strategy, like the unbundling of my product explorer.
Yeah. No, I think this is so valuable. So yeah, happy to help. You can post anything. I don't care. Yeah.
Awesome, thank you. Yeah, that's perfect. And okay, cool. Then next steps: indie drops, finding a partner, then product hunt leads. That's the plan, and awesome.
Cool,
yeah.
Dude. All right, man. Well, I'll talk to you soon. Let me know if you have any other questions. I'll be around.